So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I want to talk about silence. Yeah, silence. No, actually I really want to talk about oversharing and the difference between oversharing and softness, warmth, and feminine energy. So if you're interested in a video like that, please keep watching. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Like I said, in this video I want to talk about oversharing and what that looks like, and how it is a terrible thing, not just a bad thing, but a terrible thing. I want to talk about it because oftentimes we misconstrue, we get being vulnerable and being in our feminine energy, we get that confused with oversharing. And I really want to talk about this because it's so important. And so this video is going to be a more practical video versus, I like to get up in the clouds with the feminine energy and really like speak on it from an energetic perspective and spiritual perspective. But today is going to be a more practical video, and I feel like it's necessary because I feel like it really needs to be consumed and digested. Okay, now why I'm even bringing this up, because it's so important, and I see this mistake with so many women, and I really need to speak on it. Because when I was out in the dating streets, I felt like I was a unicorn, because guys said it a lot. They're like, why aren't you talking? Like, it was a weird thing. They felt like it was weird that I didn't overshare, because oftentimes women do. Now, why I even bring this up is because I commented on a video from a girl who I could tell that she has a tendency to overshare. You can just tell that, there's certain women that will just overshare. And she said, in the video, I commented on it, and in the video she was talking about she learned her lesson. She's not going to overshare, and she learned the importance of feminine mystery, which, feminine mystery to me is different, but we'll talk about it. Well, it's a little different. It's a little nuanced. I don't know what nuance means, but it's a little different. Listen, this is my second time doing this video, so, but it is different from oversharing and being vulnerable and having feminine warmth, being soft and being vulnerable. There is a huge difference, and I'll tell you why this is so important. Because oftentimes women overshare, and it is a huge sign for predators to target you. Okay, this is why this is so important, and I think that it needs to be said. It's when you are oversharing, it's like taking notes, and you're going to be my next target. That's what's being said in their minds. Okay, we'll get into it, but I wanted to share this thing that my mom taught me a long time ago. She taught me this a long time ago, and I didn't believe her. I took her advice, but I didn't believe her until I believed her, until it really did happen to me. Okay, so I'm going to share with you the comment that I left, because it became a thread. And I thought it was really interesting. I'm like, you know what, I probably need to do a video on it, because women are not getting it. And this is something I learned a long time ago, which I'm surprised that we're not sharing more of, because it's hugely important, and I'm going to share exactly why it's hugely important. But again, this oversharing, you are going to be targeted. Okay, I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to actually share the difference between warm feminine energy where you're being vulnerable and sharing how you feel and bringing someone into your body versus oversharing irrelevant information, damaging information that's going to lead to a predator targeting you. Okay, this is the comment that I wrote. Okay, here it is. The girl saw my initial comment and she asked for an example of not oversharing. Okay, of not oversharing. So this is what I said. Sure, meaning my husband doesn't know everything about me. My husband doesn't know everything about me, nor will he probably ever. He doesn't know my secrets. He doesn't even know what goes on, everything that goes on in my day. The thing is, silence. If he asks, I will tell him the things that matter, the things that matter, and what made me feel really good that day, the things that I enjoyed. That's all they really care about, or should care about. But other than that, I don't share everything. I can hold back and be silent. I don't share things that he will hold against me, because men do that. They do. And it's not just predatory men. Men in general will do that. Good men will do it too. So don't think that, oh, if he holds something against me, I shared something with him and he holds it against me, that he's a bad man. That doesn't mean that at all. It's just something that men do. Women believe that it will bring them closer, but there's a difference between sharing how you feel and being vulnerable and just sharing stuff that really serves no purpose in revealing it. Okay, there's a difference. Sharing how you feel, and then there's a difference between revealing things that serve no purpose and you revealing it. Because here's the thing, women think that this oversharing is going to bring the man closer to them. You're going to feel closer because you shared this thing with him, and that's not the case. Okay, certain things perhaps will, but this is the feminine energy thing about sharing how you feel. That can bring someone closer to you. But oversharing stuff about like what happened in your past, and I will get into I'm about to share it right now. I will share more about that and how terrible that is. But let me just read the full response that I gave. I will always ask myself that first before sharing anything, asking if it's going to serve some sort of purpose. Because just because it's your inner thoughts or it happened in the past doesn't mean it will serve you now. Serve the relationship, the dynamic, your date, or anything like that. Especially if a man cheated on you and treated you poorly, men will just do enough to just be better than that man. Trust me, my mom taught me this, and I didn't believe her until I did. So this whole thing, and this will happen a lot, especially when you're dating. They'll ask you, what happened to your past relationship or stuff, and women will just overshare, say how bad he treated me, he cheated on me, and he did this, and he did that, and he did that, all sorts of stuff. And he is taking notes. The thing is, he is going to be just a little better than that man. Trust me when I say. I don't know how many times listen, I've said on this channel, when I decided, I made the choice and decision that I wanted to be married, I made dating my job. So I went on a lot of dates and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from men and how they operate, and you'll see a pattern. And the pattern was, especially when it comes to the oversharing and being vulnerable, the difference between oversharing and being feminine energy and vulnerable, you'll see they will ask, so what happened? What happened to your last relationship? and then they'll wait for your response. You can either overshare, tell them all the bad things that happen, or you can lean back and say, you know what, it just didn't work out. He would, or say something, he was an incredible man, and it just didn't work out. You know, we just had some differences or whatever. And you will see the uncomfortable shift or the because oftentimes women will lead with, he cheated on me and did this and this, and they're taking these notes. They're like, okay, I just need to do this much more. I just need to do that much more to be better than him. To say, well, I'm better. Because what will happen when, especially when things get a little rocky or whatever, they will use that against you. You know, the stuff that happened in your past and stuff. And like, I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I treated you better than that. Telling you. Do not overshare unless you're going to say all the incredible things that he did for you. Because what will happen, and this is what I learned, is that it will be, okay, predators will be like taking notes, and they'll expect you to share all this terrible things that happened to you. And when you are silent and not giving them information, that will throw them off, because then they don't have the intel on you to use that stuff against you, because they have in the back of their mind that they're going to play you anyways. And so when you're silent and you don't give them all this information, they will fall away. People that were going to play you and had, you know, ulterior motives, malicious intent, they will fall away because they don't have anything on you. But the more that you give them, and they see you as a target because you're giving them all this information that they can use against you, all your insecurities that you share with them, all the things that happened in your past, all of your triggers, all of these things that you're sharing with them, especially if their intention is to use it against you and they target you and they are a predator, they are taking notes. It is especially important that you don't overshare in the dating phase, because if their intention is to use it against you and they have bad intentions with you anyways, and you don't share that kind of stuff, they will fall away because they don't have anything for you. They can't do anything with that. They're like, well, I don't have the stuff, the intel and the ammunition that I need to play her and to have her feeling insecure and having her triggered and having her in a toxic cycle and having her like thinking that I'm the greatest man ever. I don't have that stuff. So what am I supposed to do here? I hope you hear what I'm saying. I hope you get what I'm saying. Okay. I realized that because I kept getting the same kind of question, and you know, I'm just not the kind of person that shares that. Like I said, I learned that from my mom, so I don't share that stuff anyways. And then, you know, with my ex, I would just say, you know, it just didn't work out, because that's, in my opinion, not information that they need anyways. I don't know you like that. Okay, I don't know you like that. And so I would see when I would answer questions and not overshare, them shift. And they would say this all the time, like, you don't talk that much. They were like, you're not talking as much as I think you would. And they would say these things. I'm like, why are they saying that? Why are they saying that? I always thought, I was like, that's weird. Why are they saying things like that? And I realized as they would shift uncomfortably, because I wasn't oversharing, they would shift in their chair uncomfortably, that's what it was. And I will say, one time I did have where I did share something that was vulnerable with me. It wasn't anything big or anything, but I did have a moment where I did share something that it was a little vulnerable for me. not that much, but a little vulnerable. And I realized, like, I don't know how much time had passed. Maybe months. It had to be months. That in a moment where we were discussing something and I was holding my ground about something, that thing came back around and was brought up in order to make me feel vulnerable, make me feel a certain way in that moment. And I realized, I mean, goddamn, like, he was holding on to that for that long, almost for this very moment, to bring it back up again, to use it as ammunition in this moment to make me feel a certain way. And I was like, huh, because like I said, I had learned that a long time ago. So I didn't often share things that I didn't feel like were relevant to share. I didn't really share much at that point because I hadn't discovered feminine energy and things like that. That's when I realized, I'm like, oh, they are taking the information and holding on to it for the very moment in which it will be something that they can use to make me feel insecure, to make me feel vulnerable, to make me feel bad, or anything like that. I realized in that moment, because it had been so long, but they had held on to that information to use it in a way to use it against me. I had a family member as well. She had been talking with this guy, and she was like, he ended up playing her in the end, but she was like, I can't believe he played me like this, because I had shared all this stuff with him. I had shared all this, intimate things with him, and I can't believe that he played me like that. And I was like, you can't believe that he played you because you shared that stuff? Because the thing is, women think that sharing stuff like that is going to bring that man closer to you. And I'm telling you, that is not the case. You oversharing and sharing things that don't matter, that are really going to, in the end, be used against you, is not going to bring you closer. That's oversharing. So feminine energy, warmth and softness, is about bringing him into your body and sharing how you feel. Okay, completely different. So in this moment, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I'm feeling frustrated right now. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling loss. I'm feeling, abandoned. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling really good. That's feminine energy, being vulnerable, sharing how you're feeling. Like, this moment is making me feel really good right now. I'm feeling really excited. I'm feeling really nervous. That's feminine energy. That's softness, warmth, and being vulnerable in the moment. Like, I'm feeling really nervous right now, this kind of thing. But you oversharing stuff that doesn't serve you and are irrelevant, no, don't do it. Because especially if they're a predator, they are taking notes. And if you are an oversharer, you are being targeted. I'm telling you, sister, you are being targeted, because you are you're like prime, I don't know what the word is, like, not real estate, but like, you're that person that they seek out. What is it? Prey. You're prime prey. You're like prey at that moment when people see that you're an oversharer, because they are just taking notes and they're going to use that kind of stuff against you. I hope you hear me. But it's really true. And it's not about, predatory men and good men, because all men will do it. And why wouldn't they? Come on. Why wouldn't they? Why would you're giving them all this information? It's like I don't know. I don't know a lot about politics, but like, if the other side is like trying to do something kind of shady or whatever, and you have somebody that's giving you all of this information that you can really use in the election or something, yeah, you're all open ears. You're taking notes. You're like, okay, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. You're taking notes, right? Yeah, like that's, yeah. So why are you doing that? Like, why are you doing it? I don't get it. I don't get it. I get it to a point because women typically think that if I share these things, if I share this kind of stuff with him, it's going to bring us closer, it's going to make us closer. But you're getting that confused with feminine energy and bringing him into your body. So this is intuition. This is kind of innate as, feminine energy creatures, women. It's innate that we want to bring them closer to us. That's kind of like natural, that we have this urge to want to bring him closer to us. You're just doing it the wrong way. You're doing it the complete wrong way, actually. If you're oversharing and, telling him about the most embarrassing moment that you ever experienced in life, which can be a fun thing, but if it's something that's really like, if it's fun, that's different, okay? That can make for a cool story. But if it's something that he can hold against you, trust me, he will. He will. He can be a great man, but he will hold that against you. I'm trying to think of like a good example. You hear about these stories all the time, especially when people start, they might be married and then they get a divorce, and you hear these things that come up and you're like, why did you tell them that? I was talking to my mom about this, and she did share with me the scripture that I do want to share. This is really important. So scripture tells us that silence can help us avoid sinning. Proverbs 10:19. Gain respect, Proverbs 11:12, and is deemed wise and intelligent. Proverbs 17:28. In other words, you may be blessed by holding your tongue. Ultimately, refraining from speaking in certain situations means we are practicing self-control. Self-control. I'm going to say it again, self-control. Say it with me, self-control, self-control. Because here, when we start oversharing and running off at the mouth, we're just running off at the mouth. We're not practicing self-control. Self-control, self-control, okay? Self-control. And again, there's a huge difference between oversharing and having lack of self-control versus feminine energy, warmth, vulnerability, bringing someone closer to you, really. Because that way, I'm feeling very frustrated right now. I felt that situation made me feel very, frustrated and overwhelmed. Okay. Oversharing things that are not relevant, just speaking, just talking, especially on dates. Okay. Especially when it comes to, like I said, with men, you, instead of sharing like the incredible things that men have done for you, you're sharing these like, oh, he cheated on me, he treated me poorly, he's taking notes, he's going to do just enough to be better than that man. And when you are sharing all of the incredible things that men have done for you and how they have treated you, how they've taken you on trips and all this kind of stuff, trust me, he's taking notes too. He's either going to say, yeah, I can do that, and above, or he's like, mm-mm. And then he's going to fall away. And you want that. You want that. Because you should lead with the incredible things that men have done for you, but oftentimes women, lead with, oh, he treated me terribly, he cheated on me, he abused me, and all these things. And he's thinking, okay, I can do this to her, I can do that to her, and I just need to do this much to keep her, because she was willing to put up with that kind of stuff before. So I just need to do this much just to keep her around, waste her time, things like that. Okay? Hope you hear me. Do not overshare. And if you're going to overshare, share things about being taken on a private jet, getting all these sponsored trips. He paid for everything. He bought me all these bags and all sorts of stuff. Do that. Because that's how I always look at the positive. I don't focus on any of the negative. So I never would be like, oh, the men, my exes in the past did this to me. I always lead because I'm just like, this is about being positive too, like thinking positive and focusing on positive. Oh, he was amazing. He treated me so well, and he did this to me. He's either taking notes like, well, I can't keep up with that, and then he's gonna fall away, or he's like, okay, so she's a woman that is taken care of. She's a woman that, has self-respect, and so I gotta step it up. Trust me, they are taking notes. Why are you leading with the terrible? Why are you leading with the worst? Why are you leading with bad? Like, don't. I tell you, one time it was like, I dated a lot of great men, and one guy actually told me, oh, I can't keep up with that. I was like, okay, bye. So if you're gonna overshare the good things and not the bad things. But again, I understand why women overshare, because the urge and desire is to bring the man closer. But you have to realize that there is a huge difference in oversharing things that don't matter, oversharing things that are terrible. Like, why are you sharing that? And then being vulnerable, soft, warm, feminine energy, sharing and actually really bringing him closer, because you're bringing him into your body. You're sharing with him how you feel, how you felt, these kind of things. Super important. So I really wanted to share this because it's a more practical video, but definitely a necessary video, because I see it all the time. And like I said, I understand the urge, what you think you are doing, but you are not doing that at all, okay? So anyways, you guys, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. If you wish to cultivate more of your feminine energy, we do have planners and tools at ambermarieturner.com that can really help you cultivate feminine energy in your life. So I suggest you check that out. But anyways, you guys, that's all for this video. I do videos. Oh yeah, I do videos on feminine energy, manifestation, the subconscious mind. So if you like that kind of thing, I think you'll like it here. But anyways, you guys, I rambled long enough for this video, and I will check you guys in the next video. Peace.